My husband never said I love you after we got married. He fixed everything in our house, but I still felt alone. My name is Emily. I am 34 years old. I am married, but I feel invisible. I say that word quietly, because it still hurts to hear it out loud. I thought being a wife meant feeling close to someone. I thought love would feel warm every day. I was wrong. After we got married, our life looked normal from the outside. We had a small apartment. We ate dinner together. He went to work every morning. He came home tired every night. He carried the weight of our home without saying a word. I told myself that was love. I told myself I should be grateful. But something felt missing. I waited for his voice. I waited for words. Sometimes, the house was so quiet that my heart felt loud. I didn't know silence could be louder than words. I didn't lose my marriage in one day. It happened slowly. It happened in small moments I tried to ignore. If you think silence is harmless, this story may change your mind. And before you decide how you feel, know this. This is not a story about a bad man. It is a story about love, silence, and the things we never learned how to say. When we were dating, things felt different. Daniel talked more then. Not a lot, but more than now. He listened when I spoke. He asked small questions. Did you eat? Are you tired? I remember those moments clearly. I thought they meant something bigger. I thought his quiet care was enough. We spent time together in simple ways. We walked after dinner. We sat on the couch and watched the same shows. He did not say many words, but he stayed. He looked at me when I talked. He waited when I was slow. He came when I called. I told myself he was sincere. He didn't say much, but he showed up. I felt close to someone. Back then, silence felt safe. I believed it meant trust. I believed love did not need words. I thought actions could speak for him. I thought I understood his language. I remember waiting for his messages at night. They were short. Home now. Busy today. Still, I smiled when I read them. I filled the quiet with my own hope. But after we got married, things changed. Not all at once. Slowly. The silence came back. It felt heavier this time. We still ate dinner together, but he spoke less. He listened, but he did not open up. I talked more. He nodded. He stayed quiet. I felt something pull away. I told myself this was normal. I thought marriage was about patience. I thought love without words was still love. I waited. I waited for him to speak. I waited for a sign. The nights grew longer. I waited. The house felt quiet, too quiet, and I didn't know yet. But that belief would cost us both. Dinner became the hardest part of the day. We sat at the small table every night. Daniel ate fast. He stood up to fix something again. A loose chair, a weak light, a broken switch. His hands were always busy. I watched him move around the house. I spoke. I talked about my day. I talked about work. I talked about how tired I felt. Daniel listened, but he did not answer. He nodded. He stayed quiet. I felt my words fall into the quiet house. I thought maybe this was normal. I thought maybe silence was just his way. Some nights, I tried less. I waited for him to speak first. He did not. He finished eating and checked the door. He wiped the table. He fixed the shelf. I felt invisible in my own home. I told myself not to make it worse. I held back. I stayed calm. I carried the weight alone. Then came small signs that gave me hope. One evening, he brought home new chairs. He said nothing, but he placed them carefully. Another night, he fixed the door that always made noise. He worked quietly, late into the night. When I asked if he was okay, he answered without looking up. I'm just tired. Later, when I stood near him, he said, We're okay. His voice was low, short. I felt a small relief. I thought maybe I asked too much. I thought maybe love did not need words after all. For a moment, the silence felt lighter. I told myself to be patient. I told myself he showed love in actions. I tried to believe that. I tried to feel safe with someone again. The house felt quiet, but not empty. Not yet. But the quiet did not stay gentle. I began to speak more. I asked questions. I asked for reassurance. I said I felt lonely. I said I needed to hear him. One night, I spoke longer than usual. Daniel looked at his watch. He turned his back slightly, still holding his tools. He spoke once, fast and flat. I worked all day. That was all. I froze. My heart dropped. I waited for him to turn back. He did not. I needed him to stay. I followed him with my eyes. He moved to the sink. I felt the space grow between us. I wanted him to open up. I wanted him to look at me. I wanted him to say something, anything, but he shut down. The silence built up again, thicker than before. After that, I stopped talking. I washed the dishes alone. The water ran. The plates clinked softly. Daniel sat in the other room. The house felt small, too quiet. I stood there longer than needed. My hands moved, but my mind was full. I felt disconnected. I felt unseen. That night ended like many others. No fight, no words, just distance. I went to bed first. The quiet followed me. I told myself this was not the first time, and deep inside, I knew it would not be the last. One afternoon, I looked for a charger in Daniel's drawer. It was the same drawer he never let me touch. My hand moved slowly. I felt nervous, but I did not know why. Under some old papers, I saw a small notebook. It was thin, old. The cover was worn. I stood still for a second. The room felt very quiet. I opened it. My hands started to shake. My heart beat faster. I sat on the bed and turned the pages. At first, I did not understand what I saw. It was not a diary. It was not money notes. It was something else. Dates. Short lines. Simple words. She looked tired today. She didn't eat much dinner. She stayed quiet again. I swallowed hard. I turned the page. More lines. More days. He wrote about small things. About me coming home late. About me crying in the bathroom. About nights when I spoke less. About mornings when I left early. My fingers felt cold. I had to stop for a moment. I took a deep breath. The air felt heavy in my chest. He noticed everything. My eyes moved faster, page after page. The same pattern, the same care, the same silence. He knew when I was distant. He knew when I felt unseen. He knew when the silence built up between us. He knew when I pulled away. I felt my throat tighten. My heart raced. I did not know where to look next. But something was missing. There was not one sentence he ever said to me. Not one line of spoken love. Not one moment where words crossed the page. Only unsaid words. Only quiet notes. Only feelings held back. My hands trembled again. I closed the notebook slowly. The room felt smaller. The quiet house felt louder than before. He knew everything, but he never said it. I sat there for a long time. I did not cry. I did not smile. I just stared at the wall. My body felt stiff. My thoughts felt mixed. Comfort and pain pressed together in my chest. That moment stayed with me. Heavy, unclear, and I knew nothing was simple anymore. That night, I was ready to leave. My clothes were in a small suitcase by the door. It stood there, quiet, like it was waiting. I looked at it for a long time. I felt tired, not angry, just tired. My hands felt weak, but my mind felt clear. I thought about all the nights I waited. I thought about all the words I never heard. I knew I could not live like this anymore. I sat across from Daniel in the living room. The light was soft. The room felt tight. I spoke slowly. My voice did not shake. I can't live in silence anymore. He did not answer right away. He looked at the floor. Then he looked at the suitcase. His jaw tightened. His hands closed into fists. He stood up, took one step, then stopped. He turned away, then turned back. The silence felt heavy between us. My heart beat fast. I waited. Daniel opened his mouth. Then he closed it again. I don't know how to. He stopped. The words fell apart. The room stayed quiet. I could hear my own breathing. He rubbed his hands together. His shoulders dropped. For a moment, he looked small, like a boy who did not know what to say. Then he spoke again. His voice was low, broken. I was never taught how to say love. That was all. No long speech. No excuse. Just that one sentence. It landed hard. I felt it in my chest. He did not look at me. He stared at the wall like he was afraid to see my face. I did not interrupt. I did not move. My body felt stiff. My thoughts raced. But no words came out. The silence returned. But it was different now. It was thick. Honest. Daniel stayed standing there, unsure what to do next. I stayed in my chair. We did not touch. We did not cry. The space between us felt full of things we never said. That moment stretched on. Too long. Too quiet. My hands rested on my knees. His hands shook at his sides. Nothing was fixed. Nothing was clear. But for the first time, the silence had a crack in it. And I knew whatever came next would change everything. After he said it, the room went still. Too still. Daniel stood there for a second, like his body forgot what to do next. He took a step toward the door, then froze. His hand lifted, then dropped. He did not leave. That was new. I noticed it right away. My chest felt tight. I thought he would run. He always did before. He turned back slowly and sat down on the edge of the chair. His back was stiff. His shoulders stayed high, like he was holding something heavy inside. He said nothing. I watched his hands. They shook, then went still. The silence wrapped around us again, but this time, it felt different. It felt exposed. I did not speak either. I did not know what to say. My mouth felt dry. My heart beat loud in my ears. I thought about his words. I thought about how small they were and how heavy they felt. He stared at the floor. His eyes did not move. He looked broken in a quiet way. After a long moment, he whispered my name, just once, very soft. It almost disappeared in the air. He did not explain. He did not defend himself. He just sat there, breathing slow, like he was trying not to fall apart. I saw it then. This was not comfort for him. This was fear. Daniel stayed in that chair. He did not stand again. He did not hide in another room. For the first time, he stayed with the silence he created. And I stayed too. My body felt tired. My thoughts felt loud. Nothing was healed. Nothing was decided. But something had cracked open, and it scared both of us. That night did not end with answers. It ended with time. Daniel stayed in the room. He did not reach for his keys. He did not check his phone. He sat there, then stood up, then sat again. I watched him move, slow and unsure. I thought he would say sorry. He did not. I thought he would explain. He did not. He picked up a glass from the table and washed it. Then another one. The sound of water filled the space. It was awkward. It was quiet. I felt my shoulders drop a little. I did not know why. I thought maybe staying was his way of speaking. I was not sure. We sat on the couch with space between us. He looked at the wall. I looked at my hands. My fingers felt cold. I waited for words that did not come. He breathed in, then out. He tried to say something, then stopped. One word fell out, soft and broken. I'm sorry. It was not complete. It was not smooth. It did not fix anything. He stayed after that. He did not leave the room. He did not turn his back. He stayed with the silence. I stayed too. My heart felt tired. My thoughts felt heavy. I thought about how long we had lived like this, together, but apart. Nothing was resolved that night. There was no plan, no promise. Just two people sitting with the mess they made. The silence was still there, but for the first time, it did not push us apart. It waited between us, and that felt new. Months later, our life looked almost the same. The same small apartment, the same quiet mornings, the same dinner table. But something felt different, and I noticed it in small ways. Daniel did not become a man of many words. I did not expect that anymore. I stopped waiting for big sentences. He spoke slowly now. Sometimes he spoke wrong. Sometimes he stopped in the middle. One morning he asked, "You tired?" Then he looked down. I nodded. He stayed in the room. That mattered more than the question. I thought about that moment all day. Some days, he forgot. He came home tired and quiet. The silence came back, soft and familiar. My chest felt tight, but then he checked on me. "You okay?" The words were simple. They were uneven, but they were there. I felt seen in those moments. We learn to live with pauses. We learn to sit with awkward silence without running away. He did small things and stayed close. He poured tea. He fixed a chair. He waited beside me. I watched his hands shake when he tried to speak. I did not rush him. I was still careful. I was still afraid of falling into the old silence. But I also felt connected in a new way. Not perfect, not loud, just honest and slow. I thought healing would feel big. I was wrong. It felt like this: quiet steps, short words, and someone choosing to stay. Love that is not spoken can be misunderstood as love that does not exist. I believe this now, and I live with it every day. Love shows itself in many ways. It shows in work, in care, in staying, but words still matter. Words tell the other person, "I see you." Words tell them they are not alone. Silence feels safe to some people. It feels strong. It feels like control. But long silence creates distance. It creates doubt. It makes love feel small, even when it is not. I thought actions were enough. I thought patience would fix everything. I was wrong. Love needs courage. It needs simple words, spoken at the right time. Not perfect words, not big speeches, just honest words. Without them, love can disappear in a quiet house, and no one knows when it is already gone. I learned this before it was too late. Maybe this story feels familiar to you. Maybe you show love like Daniel. You work hard. You carry the weight. You stay quiet and believe it is enough. Or maybe you are Emily. You listen. You wait. You need to hear the love, not just see it. Not everyone stays silent because they do not love. Some people learn that love means doing, fixing, providing, and holding back words. But the person beside them may not read that language. They may feel unseen, even inside a shared home. This is not about right or wrong. It is about belief. Daniel believes that if he does enough, he does not need to speak. Emily believes that love needs to be heard to feel real. When these beliefs meet, pain can grow quietly. Many couples live like this and never know why it hurts. So, if this story touches you, remember this. Say it early. Say it imperfectly. But say it. Love is not only sacrifice. It needs words, so two people know they are still walking together. Before you go, think about this for a moment. Do you show love with words or with actions? There is no right answer. There is only your way. If this story stayed with you, share your voice. Type words or actions in the comments. And if you want to hear more quiet stories like this, you can like the video and subscribe. Thank you for listening.